Hello. Can you guys hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me or not. I'll be really sad if you can't. After all this work. Let's see. Hello. Can you hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Someone let me know in the chat. Or if I'm just talking to myself and no one can hear me. Let me see. We'll try and do this. Oh, good. Yay. Is it crispy? I'm really hoping that the sound will be crispy, like a potato chip. Because I know that when I do Patreon lives, like mediumship circles and stuff every month, even with Zoom, the audio is not the best. And if I even used like my fancy little microphone, hello, I'm so excited that you guys are here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really nervous. So anyways, even when I set up the Zoom microphone, it doesn't record very nicely. So I'm hoping that this is through YouTube and it'll still record very nicely or better than when I use it through Zoom. So that's what I'm hoping for, that it sounds better right now and when it is as a replay for you guys. So hello. Also, a Tarsum hashtag, you always I think this is the same person just because you're saying that I should become vegan. I appreciate you in the comment sections because I do see that you say everyone should become vegan a lot, which I like eating vegetables. There was a time during the podcasts and things that I mentioned how I couldn't eat meat, and that was after I had COVID, like OG COVID, before like vaccines and like second, what is it, like variants came out. I had COVID, and for probably a year and a half I couldn't eat meat, and that was just because for me it smelled and tasted awful. It was terrible. Also, I loved the smell of coffee before I had COVID, and then directly afterwards I ended up working for Starbucks for a while, and it smelled terrible to me. Coffee did after having COVID. Yeah, OG COVID, right? Well, sometimes people will ask me during readings when I talk about COVID and things. People are like, "Oh, well, do you have the vaccine and all these other stuff?" I was like, "No, no, no. Listen, that wasn't out when I had COVID." So, um, anyways, I don't know. You tell everyone that they should be vegan, but you also have constructive comments. So I see you and I appreciate you. And if being vegan is something that works for you, go for it. And if it doesn't, I understand. So how's everyone doing today? Thank you. I'm glad you like my office. I tried to keep the theme of pink and everything, and eventually this wall over here, hopefully I'll be able to paint it like colors as well so everything matches for the studio, but all in time. I'm good. I'm nervous. I haven't been on a live in like 2 years. Guys, it's been a while and a lot of things have been changing. Like I had a kid. So, looking at myself in a camera is a lot different now too. But, everything's going well. Oak is almost 2 and he's downstairs or outside currently with my sister-in-law, and they're playing with his water table and he likes to watch cars and all those other things. But I appreciate you guys all being here. So the point of today's live is just to I know Oak is almost 2. Yes, Sophia, he's almost 2. He's a little Vorg. He's a Voigo. um the theme of the studio is very you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I used to have my little computer desk that I got at Walmart over there. Wait, over there. Everything's reversed. Over there. That's why the cute little things that I have up there are over there. But now I've moved everything into the closet that's in my little spare bedroom. So I have more room over there to record and have guests and things like that. So I think Gatsby's in here. So if you guys see a black and white cat, he's real. He's just hanging out with me. Um, So the purpose of today's live stream is just to come back, say hi, see how you guys are all doing, share chat is open, so share some stories, some questions cuz I know there's been a lot of questions on like TikTok. I'm finally starting to get back into TikTok too and trying to post on there as well. Tarson, I'll never had kids in my life cuz there's so many illnesses and I think there's no point to having kids. Yeah, I understand. I've met with people that have the same viewpoint. I totally get it. And I actually I did a really nice reading for this couple for their dog that I just talked about in a TikTok a couple days ago, how their dog, I think she was Dachshund and Black Lab. Um, and their dog knew when the wife was going to have heart problems. So that's why she had anxiety leaving their mom or her mom, this dog's mom. But those people, they were very nice, and they had a podcast because I guess they had heard about me from there was a TikTok a couple months ago that went viral from this lovely woman that I had a reading with back in 2021 named Ryan and her cat Bootsy. This like very stereotypical, slightly chubby orange tabby cat. But they ended up booking a reading for me. Long story short, the reason I'm talking about this is they have a podcast, this couple that I had a reading with, specifically for about not having kids and like living their life the way that they want to. Oh, and, like, bringing up my kids and things like that, they're like, "Oh, well, you probably don't wanna hear about our podcast since you have a child," and I was like, "No, I would love to hear about your podcast." I'm trying to find it right now. It had a very funny name, um, and I figure I tried to tell everyone else about it. It was Dinky, Dinky, Dinky Podcast, but this couple's very nice, and they have a podcast about living without kids and, like, traveling the world. And it's cute. So, anyways, the point of today's live stream is to check in, say what's up, hang out for a little bit. And if you guys want to do, I'll have live readings available for purchase up at the top. I pinned it. If not, that's okay too. This isn't necessarily for readings, but if you're interested in a reading, it's pinned at the top. Otherwise, we're going to have open conversation about spiritual topics. If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat below and I'll ask your questions. Otherwise, I've prepared a couple little things that we can talk about topic wise. However, I do want to say that I'm just trying to make sure that I get all of the chat correct. Um, Somebody already purchased a pet psychic reading. And I don't know how they did that because the live stream link has been used in like past pod or like past live streams, I think. But this is the first time that I've updated this live stream. Oh, okay, PCAT, that was you. Got it. All right. So you're okay, PCAT. That makes sense with your name. I won't I won't tell everyone what your actual name is. So, PCAT, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I don't know how you got the link to that. Can you tell me in the chat how you found it? Cuz I was like, I don't think I posted it anywhere, did I? Unless I forgot. It's been a fever dream the past couple days trying to get this ready and like feel like I'm prepared. So, and my hands are sweating so bad. I'm so excited. um I think the link pinned at the top of the chat. Yeah, the link to buy readings is at the top of the chat. However, I just didn't know how PCAT you were able to find it. The link was attached to the preview of the live stream on YouTube. Huh, maybe I did do that. I didn't remember if I did though. So, or maybe it like YouTube auto generates it because it was used in the past. I don't know. I just either I did it or it happened. But either way, I appreciate you, PCAT, and let me. You gave me a lot of information, which I appreciate because I'm not on a Zoom chat with you, so I can't like see your dog or you. Not that I need to, but it helps when you give me a little bit of information just to pick out like who I'm talking to. Cause with mediumship, it's like trying to fine tune a radio. So you can share as little or as much as you want with me, but Kat, you shared a lot. So let me let me just go into your order and read it and we'll go from there. Thank you for your patience too while I figure this out again. People talk about um being in like technologically capable. I am not one of those people. But I'm really learning. Oh, guys, I have future collaborations in the mix for you guys, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm not telling you who I've collaborated with yet, but it'll be coming out at the end of July. And because I collaborated with these people, I was able to figure out a lot of like more technological things where it opens up a lot of possibilities to do different live streams and have like Patreons on podcasts and live streams and things like that. So I'm excited. Mhm. If that was rude and you could hear me slurping, tell me and I won't do it again. Okay, so PCAT says, my dog is Raven, a 40-pound mixed breed. She looks like a border collie with short hair and big pointy ears. Perfect. I appreciate that because as soon as I see Raven, I see like a darker colored dog, like browns and grays and blacks, but with the pointy ears. Um, and I did. Okay, PCAT says, sounds good. My main question is the first topic. Slurp away. Okay, so Raven often gets told she looks like a fox. That's so cute. We had a gray fox walking or running around our neighborhood a couple weeks ago, and everyone in the neighborhood took pictures of it. And my husband and my son were actually trying to like chase them through the people's yards to try and get a picture. Not aggressively, but as fast as a 2-year-old can run. I digress. So, mainly, PCAT wants to know why all of a sudden Raven is scared of being inside their apartment. They say at the end of the day, when it's time to go to bed at night, she will refuse to come in the house. Once inside, she will pace and pant for sometimes hours. She used to wag her tail and get excited to come home, so I don't know what changed, and this has been going on for several months. Okay, so we will do that part. We'll do that part first, and then we'll move on to the next ones. So I have a question for you, PCAT. First question, just so that I know that I'm connecting with Raven. Does your apartment have like a balcony and or a sliding glass door that leads to outside? We'll just wait a second for PCAT to reply. I have a porch with a screen door. Okay. Now, do you know if there's people that would come to do maintenance or wash the back door or the window? Because I feel like, based on the fact that I'm correct in assuming that I'm seeing, perceiving this backsliding glass door, I feel like someone came to do maintenance at the house, like because it's an apartment, right? And either they went to the wrong house and tried to come in the door when she was home, or um, there was, like, some sort of maintenance that was done behind the house, and it was really loud with these strange men. Because when I talk to her about it, she tells me that the reason she's nervous about things now is because an incident happened where people came to the house. Do you know anything about that or if that could be possible while you were at work or something? Hello to all the new people in the chat. If you guys are new here, hi, my name's Liv. I'm a psychic medium, and we're doing spiritual chat and live stream readings. We're starting off first with Raven and her owner, PCAT, who purchased a pet psychic reading. If you're interested in a reading, that will be up at the top, pinned. If not, join the conversation. Feel free to ask a question. PCAT says maybe, but I was home with her the night it started happening. Oh, okay. Interesting. Have you lived in this house for more than 6 months? Yes, almost 2 years. Okay. Did this you said I'm just looking to see if you gave me a time frame for when this happened, because she's talking about, like, 6 months back, so I wanted to know if maybe this started 6 months ago. The apartment is like a house split into 3 units. Yes, in February. Okay. So I just are there other there's okay, so it's a house split into 3 units. I get it. My sister-in-law lives in a house like that. So she's telling me that I do think one of the reasons she's upset about the situation is someone could have came in to do work. Maybe there was um, someone that came to work on the house, or if there was people outside. Like, for example, they're putting like AT&T wiring cables and stuff in my neighborhood, and no one asked them to be here, but they're here. And it's really annoying. So she shows me that there were like actual people around the house when she started being upset. I don't think they came in the house, but I think it was nonetheless not something that was helpful to her. Is there like an older man that lives upstairs, if you know about your neighbors, PCAT? Also, if you see me writing, it's just because I am. Stuff pops up, and with the chat being delayed a little bit, I don't want to. I want to make sure I say everything that comes to my mind. It's okay if you don't know, because I feel like one of the questions you might want to ask is this paranormal in nature? Do I think it's paranormal in nature? No. Am I asking her if it is? Yes. So I'm just trying to make sure that the things that she's talking about with people are people that are alive. And the other reason she may be nervous. I've been scared that the older man could be my scary former stepdad. Oh, well, that's not cool. Hello, Carrie. Um, I don't know if he's your scary former stepdad. However, there is an older man that lives upstairs and his health isn't the greatest and he doesn't give off very good vibes. I think one of the other reasons she's nervous. Now, when I talk about this too, I want to specify that when we have our animals, right, our pets, they very much do have like I don't mean this in a rude way, but like a consciousness to them where it's almost like anthropomorphically similar. So putting human emotions onto an animal. Animals do have the capacity to, be very similar in their mindset to people. However, when it comes to their instincts, their instinctual ability to sense things and be a part of their surroundings more intuitively, that sometimes overrides their more conscious brain, the brain where like they want to eat Cheetos with you on the couch and watch TV type of brain, versus the one where they smell something and then run. So this portion of why she's nervous about this man that lives above you is because more instinctively, intuitively with her animal instincts, she understands that this guy not only health-wise isn't maybe the best, but also his personality may not be the best as well. So she's like, I feel unsafe because this guy doesn't have the best health and the best characteristics or character qualities, if you will. PCAT says she looks around the house scared as if she sees something or someone and no one lives above me. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's this man that lives in the other unit. However, I don't think what she's seeing is paranormal. Um, do you take her for walks, Kat? PCAT says two girls live below me. And when you walk outside of your apartment, PCAT says, "Oh yeah, many." I'm asking her questions to tell me things about her that I may not know. Do you have like some what is it? Evergreen trees on the sidewalk outside of your house or down the road on near the sidewalk? Like when you take her on walks, are there some bigger pine trees or something, PCAT? Hello, Ashley. It's nice to see you. Oh, hey, this is Ree. I wanted a medium reading to see if my mom comes through, but I'm glad you were able to sell them out. Well, that's so nice. Thank you guys for selling out readings. Congrats on going live again. I appreciate that. PCAT says, yes, we live in an area where there are lots of trees. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm connecting with her because I understand what you're talking about. I'm just trying to get more information about who or what she may be perceiving. Is it only in the evening times when she sees or it looks like she's seeing things? Like when the sun starts to go down, like dusk type of area? Mostly yes. Okay, cuz she also tells me about it that it's more so in the evenings. Do you live on the top story or is it just like a ranch? Yes, you live on the top. Okay. Cuz that explains the sliding glass door cuz she does make me feel like it's up a little bit higher too. I don't think it's paranormal. I keep asking her, "Do you hear things in the walls or in the ceiling? Like there might be some kind of like critter that's in the attic or um something like that?" Cuz I when I Oh, hi fairy. I appreciate you. She says wonderful to see you going live. Yay, thank you. I appreciate that. Because when I ask more information about what she could be hearing or seeing, she makes me feel like there's a little bit of noises she could hear as well, like outside. If there's like a tree that's pushing on the house, or it's almost like a little bit of like a scraping, like scratching sound. Because she may also be hearing something that we don't hear. PCAT says, my mom said she thinks I have mice, but I've never seen them. It's a very old house and she may hear the dogs downstairs. I think you mean downstairs. It could be the dogs downstairs as well. She just more so the feeling that I perceive is that there's things that have changed when she's at the house by herself that she picks up on, and she's just a little bit of a nervous Nelly about them. Have you Because she's happy when you come home. It's just hard because you can't pick up on the same sensations that she is. I do have a question, too. Feel free to ask more questions specifically in the chat if you want to, PCAT, but I'm gonna keep moving on with the rest of your questions because I do think that whatever she's hearing or seeing is physically in the house, not necessarily something that's paranormal as far as I can tell. Um, do you have candles in the house, PCAT? Like, specifically in is the sliding glass door in your living room? If it is, do you have, like, a cute little side table that's off in the corner where there's, candles on it? PCAT says, "Yeah, they have a couple candles, but I wanna know if what I'm seeing is correct too." 'Cause if the dog doesn't have an answer, then maybe the house will. That's what I'm trying to do. Fussy what? PK, maybe new neighbors that make different kinds of noises that she's not used to. That is also a very possible idea based on the information that I feel like Raven is giving me. Wet my whistle. Might be your dog to leave the TV or radio on while you're gone, BB says. When Funnel was a baby, I used to leave the TV on for her when she was in her cage and I had to go to work. PK, the screen door connects to my porch, and there's the front door that connects to my office. The desk is right by the door, which has a couple candles. Okay, got it, got it, got it. Because I do think that there's like the soul of a really old lady who's adorable, by the way, that may sort of hang around your house, but not anything that would necessarily scare Raven because your house and this little old woman shows me that little corner, if that helps you. PCAT says we did get new downstairs neighbors around the time it started, which I've considered. Okay, perfect. That could also be it as well. She's just very aware of everything that's going on around the house. And because it's changed or something new happened, like someone came and visited the house, you got new neighbors, like you said, then I think that's what's contributing to the anxiety. Golden says, hello, I love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so I want to move on to the next portion of PK's question, which is I would also like to know why she got into a fight with the black dog named Otis at the dog park and why she's become less trusting to other dogs over time. She used to love to play with everyone. Now she gets mad if one of them sniffs her butt. Finally, if you could help me find a way to make her feel safe during thunderstorms, that would be amazing. She is such a confident, sweet, and friendly dog, but when it comes to thunder and 20% of other dogs, she's just not here for it. Also, if there's anything I can do to make her life better, please let me know. Well, first off, she really loves the walks that you guys go on a lot. And dog parks are trash, and I will die on that hill. Katie, I understand. I get it. Sometimes other dogs really like dog parks though. Um okay, so I don't think that Raven instigated the fight with the black dog named Otis. I think Otis was either not fixed or a, a not nice dog. I was gonna say a jackwagon. Good. They are lol. Um, PCAT says, Ashley Lawson says one of the snuggle blankets are great for thunder. I also wanted to ask too, Paycat, they make like these huggy vests kind of. Is that like a weird thing to say? It's a vest that you can put on your dog and it's like a compression vest, kind of like a sock. But there's a big strap that goes underneath their belly. And I know you can put like essential oils in them like lavender or other things that are like calming if that helps. So I not as a psychic medium, but as just someone that has talked to a lot of other animals that have, well, when I talk to animals, there's two ways that I can communicate with them. One of which is mono e mono. So, things that they share to me directly that they know about, they've experienced, etc. And then the other way that animals or pet psychic readings work for me is I'll get omnipresent information. So more psychic information about your animal. So it still pertains to them and for their benefit, but it's not necessarily something maybe they have experienced before. So it's given to me more by quote unquote spirit. My spirit guides, the spirits around them, etc. So I've had that given to me as a remedy for things. Um, so when it comes to trusting other dogs, is Raven about 8 or 9 years old, or is she younger than that? Susie says thunder jackets for sure help. Oh, thank you. That's helpful. So PCAT, do you what did I just ask? Is she like 7 or 8 years old or is she younger than that? Because she might be younger than that just based on the fact that she is she's 2 to 3. Okay, because I was just gonna say 2 to 3, but she talks like she's older. Which is what I was just gonna say. So PCAT says my guess is that she's 5 now because they said maybe the pound told me she was 5 when I got her, but the vet says 2 to 3. My guess is that she's 5 now. Okay, got it. Um, so this Otis dog was just not nice. I don't think it was anything that's a wild gap. um, I don't think that Raven instigated the fight. I think Otis was trying to be rude and take advantage of her. And when it comes to Raven's fixed, right? Is she spayed, PCAT? Otis lives in our neighborhood and they always barked at each other before that. The pounds are crazy though. One time there was a pound near me that was marketing or like advertising this dog that they had as like a shepherd husky mix, and this thing was legitimately a wolf. I'm not joking. So sometimes the humane societies and stuff like that, the shelters aren't the greatest. PCAT says yes, but she's had puppies. Okay, got it. So one of the reason I asked that is because I feel like one of the reasons Otis attacked Raven is because she has had puppies. The information I get is kind of like a smell, if you will, and that smell is like a metallic-y ish sort of smell. And the more claircognizant or claircognizant information I get is that he could smell that she was a girl type of thing, and that's one of the reasons he went after her. That's why I also asked if she was fixed because he made me feel almost like she wasn't, but that's not what she was telling me, so I just wanted to make sure. PCAT says, "I think that's why so many dogs like to smell her." Yeah, I think she just smells like she's had puppies, etc. And if there's a dog that's aggressive because of that, then it's not good. And I think that's why she now has more trust issues with it because she's been very protected up until this point, but there are, like you said, like that 20% of other dogs that are just going to be mean. So I think with time and maybe keeping her around dogs that she knows, not necessarily new ones, then that would keep her well, one, safer, but two, it'll help her build her confidence and her trust up back in herself. And not that she's lost confidence in you, but build back a little bit of confidence or create new confidence in you. So, um, she does really try for you though. She really loves walks. Is there like an older man that she's seen before? Maybe a dad or an uncle of yours? Raven's the girl next door. Because I feel like there's an older man that she's seen. He has gray hair and he wears like button down, like plaid shirts. Yes, my dad. She loves your dad. I feel like there's a ball or a tennis ball that he brings and plays with her. And he's just so sweet and kind to her. She really just loves people that are kind of calm and quiet and sweet. So there's a man. Not the scary one, lol. Okay. Because there's a man that she talks about, and he plays ball with her, and she really enjoys him. Because 'cause I'm just asking her about other things that it's not necessarily that would make her life better, but that she enjoys doing. So, it's cute. Um, Megan, I would love to hear a conversation between you and Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer. I bet it would be so interesting. It would be fun. I do tell people a lot of the times that, after conversations with me, I'm not like a animal behavioralist or a trainer, so they should find people like that. So I think it would be fun to talk to people that actually know more about it, behavioralistically speaking, than not. So, PCAT, did I answer all of your questions to the best of my abilities? Do you have any last questions before I move on to our next reading today? Susie, I can hear you. I hope so. Mm, 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 mm. I think I think I answered all of them pretty well, hopefully. Pretty much. I've really been trying to be a better leader for her. Is there something I can do to build that trust and make her happy? I think keeping her, like I said, around people that not people, other animals that she knows, like just like a couple that she really gets along well with that you don't necessarily have to worry about, that she's been around a lot. Maybe even if it's just at someone else's house or just in your in your own yard type of thing, that might help her a little bit cuz she does like going to the dog park, but it's mostly just when you want to go somewhere and do something almost like but you want it to be predictable. Does that make sense? She or like for me personally, I'm a bore because I like to watch the same movies that I've already seen 1,000 times because I know how the ending goes. That's kind of how Raven is as a dog. If she could be a person, she likes things that she can just know about and not have any surprises. She would like to eat like the same meals all the time type of thing. So keeping a lot of routine in her life will help a lot. PCAT says her two best friends are golden retrievers, adorable, named George and Charlie, and she's obsessed with them. Yes, that makes sense. Parks are not predictable. Okay, but she does like going on walks. If it's just you and her and you're going on walks, she loves the all of the trees that you live around and things like that. So keep taking her on walks. All right. Thank you so much, PCAT. I appreciate you. And thank you for being my first live reading in like 2 years. It's special. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we have please correct me if I say your name wrong. Is your name Sigrid? Sigrid Boom. Yes, did I say it right? Is it Sigrid or Sigrid? It's okay if you don't want to tell me more. The first one, Sigrid. Okay, cool, 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 cool. I like your name. It's really awesome. It makes me happy. Okay, Sigrid purchased a psychic medium reading. Thank you so much. I really didn't think that people would purchase readings, so I appreciate you guys. Okay, so Secret asks, I would love to know about my spirit guides. I know I have at least two. Two I named myself, although it is probably not their real names. I named one Ava and one B. I would like to know their real names and what they do, and maybe about my own gifts and how I can improve them. Okay, first and foremost, I'm excited that you feel like you already have 2 spirit guides secret. That's freaking fabulous, my guy. My dude. And, oh, Alicia says, "Can I get a house reading?" If you want to purchase a house reading, or if you guys want like a private personal reading with me, that's a full amount of time, please go to metapsychics.com. That's just the full website, and you can find all of my full professional readings there. And that's also how you can do a house reading. I just didn't add them as like mini readings yet, but I could maybe do that for live streams if that's something you guys are interested in. Anyways, um, when it comes to spirit guides, I will tell you, Sigrid, how I perceive them. However, my spirit guide disclaimer is if at any point in time you have an experience with your spirit guides, please let that take precedence over anything I say or anyone else in the universe, because the way that you see them is unique to you. Sometimes I feel like when I tell people what their spirit guides look like, it's like telling you what your mom looks like, and you're like, you don't know my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that I perceive them is not necessarily what they literally look like. Unlike a human soul that lived at one point in time that I can say, like, oh, they had glasses, they had blue eyes, they were in the Navy, etc. Things like that. Spirit guides aren't like that. They could be souls of people that you've had past lives with, but in this incarnation, quote unquote, loosely, if you will, as your spirit guides, they're more so just energetic beings. So the way in which I perceive them, secret, is going to be symbolic, not literal, a representation in order to convey to me who they are, how they help you, etc., etc. The only thing that should really be the same or consistent between readings and maybe yourself is their personalities. So one medium might perceive them differently, and it might be different than how you perceive them. However, their personality should be the same, because that change, or that usually stays the same no matter what. I hope that answers at least a portion of your question. And I also just want to tell you that I'm really excited that you say that you know at least two, which is fabulous, because most people come to me and they're like, I don't know anything. So I'm glad. That's cool. Um, I'll be purchasing a private reading when I come back from vacation. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. If not, I still hope that you get home from vacation safely and enjoy the rest of your vacation. Caitlin says, "Can I get a pet reading?" I think we're sold out for today. However, that doesn't mean that you can't get one for another live stream, or you can go to metapsychics.com and there'll be full readings for purchase there. So let's talk about your spirit guides secrets specifically. Oh, also with names. Let me tell you this too. Sigrid, when it comes to names, I'm terrible with names just in general. Names are not something that I usually get in my mediumship. Um, However, when it comes to spirit guides names, I don't necessarily know if we can know their names specifically, or if they have set names, because if you think about it, names are a very humanly constructed thing. Like, your spirit guides aren't born and their parents are like, I'm going to name you Brian. You know what I'm saying? So I've been struggling with this for a while, and I've asked my spirit guides, spirit in general, like, hey, can you tell me how, or help me with getting spirit guide names, and or can you tell me like an answer as for maybe why they don't have names or why I don't get them, etc. And their answer to me was, this silly quote from Romeo and Juliet, like, a rose doesn't smell something, not as sweet. A rose by another name doesn't smell just as sweet, or a rose by another name smells just as sweet. That's how they answered that question for me. And claircognizantly, my understanding was, whatever names you give to your spirit guides are still their names, even if, like, my real name isn't Liv, it's Olivia, but Liv is my nickname. And I still use Liv to identify myself, because a nickname, I think the whole Latin derivation was like a name for a name. It's like Nicaname or whatever. Anyways, the whole reason I'm saying this is, you've named your spirit guides Sigrid, Ava, and B. That is 100% valid. And if at any point in time you feel like maybe those are just the names that you gave them willy nilly, for whatever reason, and you think that you finally get their real name or they share a name that they would like better than that with you, then let that take precedence over anything else anyone else says. Because again, I think telling people what their spirit guides' names are and then saying this is specifically what they look like is like telling someone that you know their mom and you don't. So it's very valid. Now, when it comes to Ava, do you feel like Ava, your spirit guide secret, is like a very feminine, fluid, flowy, gentle sort of like character? If you're still here, hopefully. Yep. Okay, good. So again, I wanted to ask her to explain what her characteristics are, her personality, her demeanor, because again, that will be the same or consistent depending, regardless, I should say, um, of what I see her as versus how you see her. So what she portrays herself to me as is she gives me the color green. Now, again, that's not necessarily what she looks like. However, what that tells me as a medium with my own mental symbols and whatever signs and symbols, that tells me that she helps you with understanding. Sorry, I'm just writing. Don't want to forget. She helps you with understanding the physical world around you. Um, She says that you're a very dreamy person, you're very artistic, and you're very creative. Do you draw a lot, or do you like comic books, or graphic design, or graphics, or pictures? Is that something that you're into, Secret? Ashley, I remember you trying to get your spirit guides' names years ago, right? And I still call them Blue Man Dude and Rock Monster. So Secret says, yes, I draw a lot. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, Kit Kat, thank you for saying don't forget to like the live. I appreciate that. Um, Yes, she says that you're very creative, and the reason she's green, she also shows me that there's yellow undertones. That's what I wrote down, yellow slash creative and artistic. That's what I was scribbling. She says that, well, green for me deals with understanding the physical world. Yellow for me deals with creative or creativity, taking ideas and starting to put them into action type of thing, putting them taking them from your mind and starting to act upon them to make something non-physical into the physical. And she says the reason she steps forward is to help guide you. And when I say step forward, just like to talk about it right now, she helps to guide you with understanding how your creativity and the world around you don't have to exist separately but can exist together, because your ability to take the things that are imaginative to you and express them in the physical world is something that you struggle with. You feel like the ideas and the creativity that you have needs to sort of stay in your mind because there's no place for it here, but there is. And you just got to sort of like let her be kind and embolden you to manifest literally and figuratively your creativity into reality, which is really freaking cute. Secret, I feel so called out right now. She's adorable. She's literally like, she's like if Tinkerbell had a really girly, but super smart, like flower sister. Because Tinkerbell's kind of like a tomboy in the Tinkerbell movies. I'm still young enough to have watched those. So she's helping you with that. Now, when it comes to B, is B more of a masculine guide for you or masculine presenting guide? Sigrid, yes. Okay, cool, 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 cool. He steps forward and he portrays himself or associates himself to the color blue. So, B's personality is, I feel like he'd be the businessy guy that goes to a coffee shop, but also, even though he goes to a coffee shop and looks like he dresses a little bit softer, he wouldn't be afraid to put some whiskey in like his latte in the evening. Does that make sense? Is that like a good way to explain that? His personality, if you will. Like he'll crunch numbers and sit in a business meeting, but he also might enjoy listening to like classical music in the background. Kind of like you guys ever watch Frasier? Am I too referencing something too old? He's kind of like Frasier, but not as stuck up. He's more kind. He's more analytical. Um, Secret, I get a very straightforward feeling from him. Yes, he is a straight shooter, but he's quiet. It's almost like no one really thinks he says anything, but once you ask him a question, he 100% gives you like a one-line answer and that's it. He doesn't need to say anything else. He's very concise and straight to the point. Okay. So he associates himself to the color blue. What blue symbolizes to me is understanding and intellect. 'Cause I usually explain blue a little bit differently, but he's explaining to me to say it a little bit differently. So, when it comes to understanding blue, understanding is being able to draw on different ideas, viewpoints, perspective, etcetera, in order to get more of a three-dimensional conceptualization of things, people, situations, etcetera. That's really funny. Sorry. He says that you yourself, Secret, are very good at looking at things from many multiple points of view. However, you have a hard time picking and making a decision about it. Does that make sense? It's almost like if there's too many options, you can't choose one because you get a little overwhelmed by how many options there are. Secret says, yes. Sorry. I'm trying to talk to B and he's not like he's just a straight shooter type of guy. So I was like, Can you help me a little bit? I feel like I'm not saying this correctly." And he's like, "Listen, stop talking. I'll talk for you." um so the reason he's stepping forward, he's presenting his blues because he's going to help you be able to be more decisive. That also explains why his background is very like gray and black because he's going to help you see things more black and white. Not as okay, he's not going to help you see things more black and white because being within the gray is good because that allows you to understand that there's more than just one perspective to something. However, he says he's going to help you with becoming more confident and okay with being able to make a decision for yourself, etc. So, even though you see things in gray, he says he's going to help you be able to choose things in a more black and white way and feel less nervous about that or overwhelmed. I hope that helps you. So, I'm very excited and proud of you, Sigrid, for having the relationship that you do with your spirit guides. I'm glad that I can confirm the demeanor and characteristics, the personalities traits, if you will, of them to just solidify that yes, you can have a relationship with your spirit guides and not have to talk to a psychic medium all the time. You got this. um, Now, as far as your psychic gifts, you're very creative. That is what's her name? Ava already said. Um, you're very claircognizant, she says. However, because you second guess all of the choices, like B says, it takes away from your claircognizance sometimes. And if we have new viewers, claircognizance to um is your ability to just know things without really any other supporting facts or details. Secret says Ava does me think of Toothy Anna of the Rise of the Guardians. Is Toothy Anna the one that what is it? That had like she she has the little like antennas on top of her head. Is that the person you're talking about? Because if yes, or if so, yes, I get it. Very much so, like her. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways, okay, so you're claircognizant. You also have a lot of claircognizant, but you trip up a lot when it comes to your claircognizance because of your decision making. However, B is helping you with that. It'll be okay. I can't really necessarily personally help you with claircognizance because I also struggle with it. I had a podcast that came out a couple months ago where I talk about intuition and that hindsight is 2020. So if you wanna if you wanna go give that a listen, go check that out on the podcast. There's Metapsychics Extras YouTube channel you can listen to it on, or like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Um, You have an array of clairs. I just also put out and I've been working on this for a while, but I also just put out a psychic quiz on our website. It's under the extras tab. There's a second psychic quiz that says like, what are your psychic abilities? Go take that quiz, guys. If you want to. I thought it was fun. I was really proud of myself for making it. But it tells you like, because everyone has psychic abilities. That's what I'm getting to, secret. Everyone has psychic abilities. That's unique and individualistic to you. The capacities that you have in each capability is also going to be different. So your spirit guides are talking about claircognizance, but they're also telling me about clairsentience and clairvoyance. And even though you're a very artistic person, so you're good at seeing and visualizing and transcribing things into mediums, they said that all of that more clairvoyant information comes from clairsentience. It's almost like clairsentience is your trigger clair. So the way you feel about things is what evokes the visualization and the other senses that you perceive, whether that be physically or metaphysically. So really just learning and sitting down and embracing how you view the world is what's going to help you understand more so what your psychic abilities are and where to take them from there, because your psychic abilities are not like, what's the word? I can't think of the word. They're static, not English class. 10th grade English class is leaving me. Your psychic abilities can change, so I can tell you what they are, but they may be different in like 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope I answered your questions, Sigrid, to the best of my abilities. Thank you so much for purchasing a reading with me. Do you have any last questions before I move on to the next person? Secret. Yeah, I get that. Okay, good, good, good. Any last questions before I go? Move on to the next person. I just want to make sure. No, you did a great job. Thank you. Have an amazing stream. No, you have an amazing day. I appreciate you purchasing a reading with me and making me less nervous. Okay, moving on. For anybody that's just joining, hi, my name's Liv. I'm a psychic medium, and this was supposed to be just spiritual conversation. I even had things listed down because I didn't think anyone would purchase readings. But people have purchased live readings. So we're doing psychic medium readings, pet readings, and plant readings, which are one of my favorites as well. Um, but that is what we're doing today, and it's fun. Thank you all for being here. If you have questions, please put them in the comments. Comments that you have, put them in the comments. Cool, cool, cool. Ashley Lawson, we have another psychic medium reading. You're up. It's your turn. Hello, how are you? Katie says, Sigrid, give tarot a shot. um, Thank you, Emma. Emma says, I love how you explain things. It makes so much sense. I appreciate that. I really do. Because when I was a kid, I struggled so much in school with comprehension. And I felt like teachers would only explain things in one way. And then eventually I would just figure it out. And I was like, if they just explained it this way, then it would have made sense. So I always try to explain things in lots of different ways so that everybody can understand it. Hopefully, that's why I give a lot of like comparisons and things, because that's just personally what works for me and how I've figured out to explain things. So thank you. That means a lot to me. Um, Tony said, I had a reading once by you and that my spirit guide presented themselves as an angel. You said that doesn't happen very often. Can you tell me why? Oh, one, hi, Tony. I, I don't know why it doesn't happen often. I just I just haven't I really don't see. I usually see spirit guides as like colors or as silly characters or more just like an essence or a presence. So when they come forward as an angel, it's almost I don't know, I feel like you could have a past life as an angel or they were an angel in one of your past lives, because spirit guides can be souls or spiritual beings that we've had other incarnations with, right? So like our soul knows them from one way or another. But I even to this day, I don't think I've had another person that would have had an angel spirit guide. If that didn't happen. So it's really that's interesting. But that's why, because I don't know. I don't know if it was necessarily a literal representation or a figurative representation either. So, anyways, thank you for your question. And I hope you enjoyed the reading that you had with me a while ago. Ashley says, "Hey, I'm good. How are you?" I'm good. I'm see, I'm nervous. Look at my chest. It always gets red when I'm nervous. Anyways, oh, I went up. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Oh no, I went up really far. Okay. Ashley, we're doing your reading. No cherry coke today? MJ, I don't I haven't had a cherry coke in a while. This is just water and it's from the US Army engineers cuz my brother's one of the Army engineers and he got me this mug when he went to training the other day and that makes me happy cuz I don't see him very much, so that's why I'm drinking out of it. Um so sorry Ashley, I'm getting sidetracked. Everyone who's saying kind things, thank you so much. I haven't seen you in so long. Yeah, I know. It's been a while, Ashley. Appreciate you being here and your support. So let's see. Ashley says, anything surprised me really. Okay, come on. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Ashley, I feel like just because I know you, I know you're a patron or were a patron. You've been on live streams and in comments before, so thank you for being here. I just don't know or remember if we've had a reading, and if we have, I'm sorry if I forget. I do have people that I've done readings with before, but I remember you. I just don't remember what the reading was. So the reason I'm bringing that up is, Ashley, if we have had a reading before, or if we haven't, I feel like there's the soul of an old woman stepping forward, possibly a grandmother. Um, I feel like she could be on your dad's side, but she also could be on your mom's side and just liked your dad. So I'm not entirely sure. Ashley, no, I don't think we have. Okay. Batty says, "Wow, this is so cool." Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Also, for people that are new, if I don't look at the screen or look at you, it's because I'm looking at the chat or I'm perceiving things. I don't physically see stuff, but I see things as like in a daydream type of thing. You like when you zone out when you're seeing things in your mind because you're having a cool daydream. That's a little bit how I perceive, or it's very similar to how I perceive souls. So I'm just focusing on the things that aren't actually there. They're in my head type of thing. So Ashley says, maybe my hubby's grand. I looked after her till she passed away. Did she have like a motorized scooter or something? Was she not as mobile or needed assistance when she was walking, Ashley? Like a walker or a little scooter, something like that? And this would be your dad's, not your dad, sorry, your husband's. Yes, she had a walker. Okay. Got it. Um, was she a little bit thinner and did she wear glasses? Like little wire framed silver glasses, maybe? Yes. Okay. So I think the woman that I was seeing before is not your husband's grand. However, the fact that you brought up your husband's grand, now she's coming forward. Ashley, do you have children? You don't have to go into specifics about them since this is the internet. Um, the only reason I ask is because she's talking about like a son or a grandchild of hers that was a boy. I guess that would be a great grandchild then. Yeah, my son. Okay. Um, she's just she really likes him. She thinks he's really funny. She likes the way that he plays with his toys. He's very sweet and he's very kind, but when he's by himself and playing, he has this sort of like confident creativity that's like infectious a little bit. Does that make sense? Like almost like he's in his own world and nothing around him matters and he's just so happy playing with his toys. Does that make sense? I feel like I say that all the time, so oh, she says, "Oh, yes, he's autistic." Oh, She just adores your son, and now that she's passed, I feel like she wishes that she could have had better relationships with people when she was alive, but because she was so old and everyone else just lived in different areas, um, it was hard for her to have the relationships she wishes she could have had if she was younger or in a better state of health or mind. And now that she's passed, she just wants to be able to tell you how much she enjoyed your son, even though she may have not been able to have the perfect relationship or the relationship that she wanted to have with you and the rest of your family to her abilities, which is really adorable. She's very humble and kind. Would you she was a beautiful soul. Would you, like, give her massages, like, on her lower back and sometimes her feet, or would you give her warm baths on her feet, like warm foot baths, like soaks and things like that, Ashley? Because she's just bringing up the fact that you mentioned that you were a caregiver for her too before she passed. Because I was I would, like, was thinking about other things. She's like, "No, no, no, go back." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she said, "Yeah." Ashley says, "Yes, I done it all." She just wants to say thank you because the foot baths were one of her favorite things, but also it was almost like you'd put like warm lotion or like liniment or something that would get warm on the back of her, like the very tops of her hip and her lower back, and it would really help her back and her hips feel a lot better because she did do a lot of sitting, which is really sweet. Do you have any specific questions for her, Ashley, aside from the things that she just wants to share? Ashley says, I used to heat up her slippers for her feet. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, you're gonna make me cry now. Um, I didn't get to know my grandma very much, and that's one of the things that I was gonna talk to you guys about today. Not necessarily that I didn't get to know my grandma, but like ancestor work. And my mom's mom, my grandma, she died when I was, I think, two, maybe three. And one of the things that I remember doing for her is when we would go and visit her with my mom and my brother, I would always put her slippers on her feet. So you're gonna make me cry, Ashley. I've been trying to do ancestor work, and now you're just making me think about that. Emma says, "I've been missing my grandmother so much recently." I'm sorry. I understand. Me too. um, Ashley says, "No, I don't have anything. Maybe ask her if she knows I was there when she passed and everyone was sleeping." Oh, her answer, she showed me, like, stepping forward and grabbing one of your hands, like, her hand on the bottom and yours on top, and then patting the top of your hand, like, kindly, and she says, "Yes," and she thanks you for that because she didn't necessarily want it to be a big to-do, but she also didn't wanna be alone. So thank you for that. It was, like a sorry. It was like a good middle point for her comfortability-wise, um, as well as, like, dignity-wise. Kit Kat. Goddamn, we all need an Ashley. So, do you have any last questions for me, Ashley, before I move on to the next one? Thank you so much for making a reading today and for your grandmother stepping forward. I know she wasn't your grandmother, but your husband's to talk. OMG, I didn't want her to be alone. She didn't know who she was at the end and only trusted me. I just wanted her to have some dignity, and she did. So thank you for that. She was worried about, like, I just had a death in the family a couple weeks ago, and the person who died chose specifically to pass without anyone around them. But that's really how they wanted it to be. And um your grandmother, she just says that she didn't want to be alone, but she didn't also want everyone else to be there. So to have you while everyone else was asleep was exactly what she 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 needed. So thank you. Oh, it's okay. Ashley says, was one of my past lives one of mine in Asia? Oh, sorry, you're bringing up past lives. I will talk about that more too. Sorry. I want to say too that I just opened up exclusive readings again, and I'm really excited about it. So I'll be doing past life readings. If you become a patron, then you can have a discount on readings as well as like, if you want to become a patron, you don't have to. I appreciate you all being here regardless. But if you want to become a patron, there'll be exclusive readings. There'll be past life readings. There'll also be um, and that's privately with me. And then there's also going to be wing readings again, or readings and spirit guide drawings. So if you're interested in that, that'll be on Patreon as an exclusive reading. I just got all of the equipment to do that again. I'm really excited about it. But anyways, you asked about past lives, Ashley, so I just wanted to make sure I talked about that cuz it's been something that I've been like secretly working on just with myself. And I it's a good time to talk about it. Ashley, I know again that like I know you, quote unquote, in a way. You were a part of a Patreon live where I talked about someone had a past life as a person from Asia who worked on like the Silk Road. That's not you, is it? Maybe you remember that. I remember the past life, but I don't remember the person. You guys know what I'm talking about? The Silk Road or the Silk Trail, that big old giant trading trail that was around at some point in time that was all the way from like China to almost Europe type of thing. No, it wasn't me remember, but I remember that. Okay, okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure. So, when it comes to your past life, Ashley, because I think people have really good understandings of what their past lives were, regardless of if you talk to a medium. But do you feel like your past life is as a woman from Asia? Yar Marco Polo. Stop, Jay. I hope that helps. Both really. I feel male. Okay, got it, got it, got it. So you could have a male past life. However, the one that I'm seeing is more of a older woman from Asia. You know, the time when I think it's Chinese culture where they would have to put their feet in the tiny shoes. Um, that would be the time in which she was alive during that period of time when they would put really tiny shoes on. She presents to me as like an older, more maternal, so, like, chubbier, heavier set woman, and I feel like she was lower like, upper class, but lower echelon of the upper class. Foot binding. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. But she was a very, very sweet woman, and I feel like she had 3 children. 2 of them I think you had 2 boys and 1 girl. However, I feel like the youngest was a girl, the middle was a boy, and the oldest was a boy, and the middle boy passed before he was into adulthood, maybe when he was, like, a teenager. She makes me feel like he got sick when he was practicing things. I don't know if he was going to be in the military for a short amount of time because I know men in that culture, again, I'm not sure specifically what time frame, just when the foot binding was happening, that he may have had to enlist in the military for a while, and I feel like he might have gotten sick and passed, but your youngest daughter and your oldest son, survived into adulthood. I'm sorry I can't answer about the more male version that you perceive. They're just not coming to me for whatever reason. Ashley, sounds like me right now, lol. That makes so much sense. That validates so much. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I always feel bad when I can't tell people exactly what they want sometimes, but this is just the woman that's stepping forward. So Um, Additionally, I do feel like you had a past life though as well of a man, but he's much later in time. I feel like this Asian woman would have been like 1500s, whereas this man is more of like the 1860s, maybe, uh, 1830s. And he was someone who was on a ship. I feel like he may have been on like a cargo ship or a fishing boat. No, he specifically says that he was trading goods because I don't see like fish or nets. I see boxes on like it's like a smallish, medium-sized boat. And he wears a big brimmed hat. You know how they didn't necessarily have raincoats back then, but they called them, oh, what did they call them? Something skins. It wasn't oilskins. That's what they used to call raincoats, oilskins back then. But he has like a really long, like trench coat looking oilskin, and then a hat that looks like Paddington the bear, but like way bigger. Like the brim comes out to here, and it's kind of flappy, but it's made out of leather, and it's wet. He has like the mutton chops because I feel like mutton chops were a really cool thing during that time. The fish stick man, yes. I don't think he was the Gordon's fisherman. Um, that's really funny. Uh, but he has brown hair and like the little part because it's like a goatee, but he really has like lines like right there, and it comes down as like sideburns, but it's almost like he didn't have like the whole big. He didn't have this part really. No, yeah, he has the mustache. Sorry, he thinks I'm silly. Like wave his hand like this is kind of silly type of thing. But he has a little bit of gray and his mustache right here and then gray like right in the middle of his beard, but it's brown. And his hair's a little bit longer on top underneath his hat. Yeah, mutton chops. Funny enough, I still have the mustache. Stop. I always joke with my husband too that our son is going to have like really big facial hair and that it's not going to come from my husband. It's going to come from my side of the family. I'm like, our son's going to have a giant, gorgeous ginger beard and it's going to be because of me. uh, Kid Katie says one past life does the subtle read. Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. Ashley, thank you so much for I worry for my daughter. We live in a time and place where we have things to help combat that, like Nair. So, it's okay. Anyways, Ashley, thank you so much for joining today and purchasing a reading. I appreciate it. Um, we're gonna move on to the next person. Okay, so now we have Michael R. Michael R got a pet reading. You're welcome, Ashley. Thank you so much. Nair, I'm dead. uh, um, if anyone is just joining, hi, my name's Liv. I'm a psychic medium, and this live stream was originally for just spiritual conversation. And anyone that wanted to purchase a live reading, they could. I didn't think anyone would, but everyone has. So now we're here and we're doing live readings. We're doing psychic medium readings, pet psychic readings, and plant psychic readings, which I know sounds silly, but plants really know everything and it's annoying. So. Kristen says, I really wanted to stay longer, but I need to get ready to leave for work. Goodbye. Bye, Kristen. Thank you for being here. Um, do spirits get offended when you talk to them wrongly, such as describing them incorrectly? Yes. Yes, they do. Are you all sold out? Yes, I am sold out of readings today. However, if you would like to purchase a private Zoom reading with me for like a full length of time, these readings are shorter. But if you want a one-on-one reading with me, you can do so at metapsychics.com. Let me do that. And those are available for purchase. I book out just a month in advance now. I used to book out like 6 months in advance, but I don't do that anymore just because I have a son. And if one of us gets sick or I'm sick, I don't want to have to reschedule with people for 6 whole months because then it takes away so much time from other people being able to get readings. Um, so I just do a month at a time because I don't want to have people wait even longer, you know? Okay. So if you're interested in a private reading, I just pinned the website at the top with my readings. So go ahead and check that out. If not, that's okay too. And if right now isn't the time, that's also okay. So we're moving on to Michael. I was going to look and see what your question was. Can any of you show me or okay, I see you. So robe, is it Robbie or robe? I swear I cannot with the dramatics from some of these plants. Ah, I have a new elephant ear plant that's very dramatic right now because I moved it. Yeah, I get it. Um, robe is fine. Okay, got it. I think I'm saying that right. I hope so. I'm really sorry. Or Michael. Okay, I'll say Michael. I don't want to. I'm bad. Okay, so pet psychic reading. Sagan. He was a gray tabby cat with darker stripes. He passed away in December of 2024. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. That's never easy. Had lots of pets before, and it never gets easier. Um, so Michael would like to know if there's anything that led to his sudden illness. Okay, so gray tabby with darker stripes. Did Sagan have green eyes, Michael? I'm just writing while I wait for you. While I wait for you to respond, just writing. Yes, greenish yellow. Okay. Because sometimes they're yellow, sometimes they're green. He makes me see like they're more like green. I understand what you're saying though, because like I used to think that Sniffles, my other cat, her eyes were more green, and now I have Gatsby, my grandmother's cat, and his eyes are way more green, and Sniffles are more green yellow. So I get it. Um, Hi Jerry, thank you for joining. Looks like a hotel. Thank you. I appreciate that. That little thing back there actually folds down into the table that I record podcasts on. So, um, okay, you want to know if there was anything that led to a sudden illness. So, was did Sagan live to be pretty old, Michael? Was he like 8 to 10 or older? Because there's a cat that steps forward and he's more thin. He's not necessarily chubby. Is that consistent with what he looked like before he passed? Okay, he was around 7. Got it. Was there a child that he knew about when he was alive? Was like, do you have a son, or was there like a niece or nephew that used to come around the house when Sagan was alive? I just want to make sure I'm talking to him, so I'm asking him to give me information to validate that I'm speaking to him before we move on to your specific question. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. And all of the cute hearts and things like that. That's kind of fun to watch. Need to settle my son live. Thank you again and have a lovely day. Take care. Thank you, Ashley. You have a lovely rest of your day and I hope you have a good night. Thanks for hanging around. Oh, Michael says, "Can you repeat the question? I had an ad." I'm sorry. Yes. Was there a boy that Sagan knew before he passed? Someone who would have sat in the living room and played with him? I feel like the boy that he knew was maybe 3, 4, 5, if you will, not over 5. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm connecting with his soul, so I'm asking him questions that can confirm whether I'm tuning in to the right frequency, if you will, before we ask the rest of your question. No, there was no children, to be honest. Okay, no, I appreciate that. I just want to make sure I'm talking to him, and if I'm not, we will ask again and try again. Um, was Sagan a very quiet cat? I feel like he was I don't know why this is making me so sad, but leaving a loved one on earth from the physical body is so sad that we have to leave it behind. That is true. Someone come get their cat, Emma. That's funny. I think I'm just not tuning into the right one. There also might be another pet psychic reading. Maybe. No, I only did two, so no other ones that should be talking. I feel like there's a cat here. He's around 7, 8 years old, and Mike already said that he was 7. His eyes are like a green color. Mike said greenish yellow, which is perfect. And he's not necessarily chubby, he's more thin. And I just want to make sure that I'm talking to him, but he has more of a quiet demeanor. And I just want to make sure that's correct because you're asking if there's anything that led to his sudden illness. When it comes to his illness, though, he makes me feel like it was something like in his stomach or his intestines type of thing. But again, I want to make sure I'm talking to him. Sagan was quiet but very affectionate. Okay, that makes sense because he does seem like a sweet boy, but he like if he doesn't know you, he'll keep his distance, but he'll still kind of be in the room type of thing. But if he does know you, he would like to just sit quietly and have you pet him and be a lap cat. He enjoyed his peace, kind of like the hobbits, you know. Kind, but likes to be peaceful. He was extremely shy. Okay, good. Because then that makes me understand why perhaps he's not just jumping up and talking because it's just his personality, which is respectable. I understand. So, do you know if he had something like did he pass in the home? He was only affectionate with me. That's really cute. Did he pass in the home, Michael? Also by Dinosaur Ivan, maybe? Thank you for being here. He had sudden seizures and passed at a nearby clinic. Okay. Because he makes me feel like he's in the home on the floor and he makes me I'm sorry if this is like graphic for some people. But there was stuff with his nose and his mouth and he was laying down on the floor in the house. So that's why I asked if maybe he passed in the home. But if he was having seizures on the way and to the vet, I'm very sorry about that. That is very traumatic. Michael, I had an animal pass similarly to that and the sadness never goes away. So I'm sorry about that. However, he makes me feel like he could have had something wrong with his stomach or his intestines. I don't know if it was an impaction. I was going to ask if he had diabetes or something that was just like undiagnosed, but he says it wasn't diabetes. It wasn't something metabolic like that. I feel like it was more physically wrong. Um, so he may have had a tumor that was pushing on other organs, or he might have eaten something that wasn't agreeing with him or that he shouldn't have eaten and it got stuck and could have caused the associated seizures. Um, However, I don't think it was something that you didn't pay attention to. I think it really was something that he didn't necessarily know about. And when it all came to a head, it was not it was it wasn't something that you just, like, neglected is what I wanna say. It was very quiet. So it's not something you could have or should have known about. Michael says he did have a heart murmur. Okay. I don't think it's his heart though, because he makes me feel in the left-hand side of my abdomen, right above my hip bone, um, over where that side of organs and things could be. I don't know necessarily the internal organs of the human body or the animals, but left-hand side, right above the hip, towards the back a little bit, is he says there was pressure there and it all just built up. I don't know. Maybe he had like um, an appendix burst in a cat. Is that even on the left hand side of your body? But it feels like there was like some sort of toxins or something that built up and caused pressure, and then that's what brought on the seizures. So I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you, but he does convey to me that it wasn't something that you that you should have known about or overlooked or were negligent about at all. Mike says, it's funny though, what you were talking about sounds like my other cat, Maze. He's still alive but has liver cancer. Huh. Is Maze a tabby cat too? Like with stripes, but is he like tan? Just wait. Okay, Mike says he was having seizures in the home. We just didn't know what led to it. I understand. May is solid gray, more like a Russian blue. Okay. I don't think I'm talking to May right now. I do think I'm talking to um I think I am still talking to Sagan though. Is May's bigger and much more outgoing. Does May talk a lot? Or Maze? Does Maze talk a lot? Like, is he more vocal? He makes me feel like when he rubs up against things, he either purrs really loudly or has like little sounds that he'll make sometimes. Is that consistent with May's attitude? Yes, after Sagan passed away, Maze is very vocal. Okay. So I do think who I'm talking to is Sagan. I'm sorry it doesn't make sense consistently with his seizures. However, Maze is very very happy even with his condition. He's a very happy boy. He says he jumps very high and he's very graceful. Cats are funny. Do you have a staircase in your house, Michael? I know, Emma, right? I love the names too. I did talk to 3 orange cats one time though that were all related, and I think I have to remember. One was um gravy, biscuit, and chicken. Maybe Michael ran into another ad. I'm sorry. Oh, yes, not a staircase, but he loves jumping on my bookshelf to be up high. Okay, I did see the bookshelf. That's so funny, but there's something that has like almost like the stairs that have, what are they called? Like the spines that go down them. I know I'm not saying the right word. To keep people from falling down them. There's something like that that he talks about that he jumps near too. So, um, okay, my cat is kind of a heifer. Stop. Um, Oh, okay. Fussy What says, I think Sagan might have had issues with kidneys. It can cause seizures due to buildup of toxins. Okay. Well, if that is something that you can look up online, that might be exactly what he's describing. Cause I was thinking maybe he had like a diabetic seizure, because he makes me feel like there was stuff building up in his body, but he says he wasn't diabetic. So I was like, okay, I'm not sure. It feels like there's pressure in the left hand side of my hip, and then I get the claircognizant and clairsentient feeling of like something was building up, something had pressure and it was backing up, and that's what caused the seizure. So, but it was like a silent thing. So you did everything that you could and should have done, Michael. Do you have any last questions for me before I move on to the next person? Do you have any other questions for Sagan while he's here? Um, Anything like that? I was just asking questions. Sagan was such a sweet cat. I miss him a lot, and May was diagnosed with cancer 2 weeks after he died. I'm trying to make him happy in the time he has left. Well, you're doing a fabulous job, Michael, though, because sorry, I didn't want to say the wrong name, because Maze is very happy, very sassy, very confident. He enjoys the food that you're giving him. He knows that you've changed it a little bit, but he enjoys it nonetheless. He says it's like softer now. He enjoys the soft, like delicious food that you're giving him. Um, and he's happy with what he has. As far as Sagan, were there nights where you would get like Chinese food and sit at a table at like obviously you'd be sitting at a kitchen table, but he shows me that there was quiet nights where you would order takeout or just sit at this table by yourself and he would sit with you. And this is Sagan that's talking. Rob says, please make sure he knows Maze and I miss him. That's all the questions I have. Okay, got it, got it, got it. I do want to say if you're a first time viewer, and you've never had like a medium reading before, a pet psychic reading, more so medium readings, please never let any other medium say that you need them in order to say anything to anyone who's passed and in heaven or spirit. If it's like a past loved one or a past pet, never let a medium say you need them in order to tell a past loved one anything, because that's not true. Souls know, see, hear, and feel everything. So the fact that we're having this conversation today and the things that you think and feel about Sagan already, Michael, he knows about. So Michael says, Sagan did love to sit with me. Okay. He just he's talking about how he misses the quiet moments that you guys had together. And if at any point in time, Michael, too, if you ever are just sitting by yourself, or even if Maze is with you and you feel like Sagan is around you or sitting next to you, please know that that can be very valid and true. That's called clairsentience. And that's just your body's perception of feeling Sagan's soul near you. So if you feel like he's sitting with you, more possibly than not, he just is. He's hanging out. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next person. I hope I answered your questions well. Okay, let's see. All right, we have 2 more readings, I believe, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate all of you a lot. I'll try to be doing live streams more often, because I am doing only one video and one podcast a month, just because with being a mom and everything else going on, it's much more feasible for me to do. So if I can do these sometimes as well, just to, I'm here, hang out, talk about some cool spiritual things. I've been trying to read some spiritual books, and I've been given, or I've been undergoing a lot of perspective recently with becoming a mom, being a wife, having a son, just everything in life, getting older. So there's always lots of cool things to talk about when it comes to spirituality and just life itself. So the books that I'm reading, I even have my little book that I've been going through a little bit here and there. So we'll always have things to talk about. Also, moving on. Sorry. People are talking. You're welcome, Mike. I really appreciate it. Jay says my passed on cats drop by for a visit here and there and a gentle, warm feeling. That's adorable. Sometimes I had a dog, his name was Seamus, and he passed very, very tragically when I wasn't around. And we used to, I used to be so sad. Like college was really hard for me, guys. And I know it's been a while since I've been in college, but it was a terrible time. And my mom had a little bit of property, And in the evenings when I couldn't sleep, like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, I would take Seamus and we'd go for walks in the pasture under the moonlight. And I would always take him because there's coyotes where I live. And he was not an aggressive dog, but he was alert. And if anything was there, he'd bark. So I would take him for walks with me. And when he passed, I was just so angrily devastated because I was trying to like live on my own. I had my first apartment with my boyfriend, now husband, and I only had sniffles and I couldn't have a dog. I could only have my cat. So that's why Seamus wasn't with me. So I had so much guilt when he passed about me not being there and not being able to take him. And I had thought about going and getting like emotional support animal paperwork so that my landlords would have to let him live with me because I knew he wasn't like a dog that chewed things or went to the bathroom where he shouldn't, et cetera, et cetera. But it was just like the perfect chaos type of thing, and it was a while, but one day I was walking outside by myself and I felt like he was there. And, yeah, so that's just Jay's talking about that, and I've experienced that a couple times too, and it's really special. So sometimes I think about him and then I feel like he's walking next to me again with his little noggin. But anyways, um, I'm just Paper Flower's going to bed. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a good night, Paper Flower. My old man cat lived till 23. I thought the cat that my mom had, Clancy, he lived till he was 21, was old. 23. And Katie says he curls up behind my legs at night just like he would when he was alive. That's adorable. I love that. I feel like that did you send in that story for a paranormal story, Katie? I feel like maybe I've read that before. Have a good night. Hello. Okay. Are you allowed to give little readings or insight and people in the chat? If so, I've always wanted my energy to be read by you. Oh, thank you. I love your videos and listening to your readings. I appreciate that, Morgan. Thank you so much. Um, I can answer little questions and things like that. We'll do that more in the future. However, I did talk about a little bit earlier how I'm going to have exclusive readings on Patreon now. And instead of tier 4 and 5, it'll be tiers 3 through 5. So I think it's Akashic Castle, which is $15 a month. That's where exclusive services will be offered beginning at. So it's not just the top 2 tiers, it's 3 and up, I believe. And I'll be doing aura readings slash drawings for people. So if that's something you're interested, go check out the my website that's linked at the top. And if that's something you're interested, go for it. Otherwise, maybe we could do that in a different live, maybe. But today we're just going to finish out with the last 2 plant readings. And the first person that we have a plant reading with is Rose. So, Rose, are you in the chat? Let me know who you are. Because everyone has a little bit of different names. Mickey B. Is that you, Rose? Mickey? Okay, cool. Because I remember I tried to book a reading one time, but you were super booked up. Understandably, I'll check those out. Thank you, Morgan. I appreciate your understanding and your respect of the situation. And I just talked about this too. I only did I was booked up for a while, but I'm only booking out a month in advance now. So you won't have to wait like 6 months or something to get a reading. It's just month by month. And every day, if I'm already booked up, a new day will open up because every 24 hours my booking software revamps. So if it's like Thursday and there's no more readings, check on Friday because a new reading a month in advance will be opening. So I hope that helps. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Rose is Mickey B. Hello. And Rose's questions is I'm able to keep my plants alive, but they don't flourish. Is it me? Same. This thing right here, this was a gift to me by one of my friends, and his name is Roberto. And he's been there in this little pot that's been cracked since like A1 day one. And he is like the only plant that I've been able to keep alive because I think he is only alive out of spite and the fact that he can get what is it? Tea, like gossip. So, oh, Batty Maddie says, no, I'm Rose. Okay, I got it. Got it. It's me, but I named my account Batty Maddie's after my dog or Batty Matt's after my dog. Okay, got it. Thank you for Mickey B just said hello because they joined the chat. So, okay, Batty Maddie, thank you very much. Um, he said, "My mother-in-law says it's our energy, like our rue plant never does well. It's alive, but it doesn't grow or flourish. I can't keep lavender alive. I want more flowers, but I don't know if it's because I live in SoCal and it's just so hot with our heat waves. I envy others that can keep their wild flowers going strong." Okay. When you talk about your plants, are these outdoor plants? Morgan, I love plant readings. Plant readings are fun. Okay, yes. Got it, got it, got it. Because I was egotistically thinking that they were indoor plants, and then your lavender was like, "Bitch, we're outside." And I was like, "Oh, okay, got it, got it, got it." um, so it just specifically speaking, when you're talking about your rue, Batty, um, is this rue anemone, like the really small growing plants? It's a scorcher out there. Because when it comes to rue or rue anemone, that type of plant specifically, I think is native to like North America, but I don't think it's native to where you are. It's rue. My mother-in-law has outdoors. It's super fragrant. Okay, let me see. I'm just doing a quick googly search because the roo's telling me that rue plants are native to Mediterranean and the Balkan Peninsula, Western Asia. Okay. Because they make me feel like what it needs is more moisture, but it's not necessarily moisture in the soil, it needs more moisture in the air. So when it comes to growing them, even the lavender talks about how it I don't think it like your mother-in-law, what is it? I just wanted to say it. Your mother-in-law says it's your energy. I don't think it's your energy. I think your energy, how is it? Do you guys ever see the silly videos with that chubby, really cute kid who wears the funny outfits and he goes, the fit is immaculate. Shaw! You know what I'm saying? Have you seen those? If not, now you know, and it's just my own version. But your lavender is really funny. Your lavender is very sassy, whereas your rue is more like your rue's more quiet, um, not as outspoken, very much just happy to sit there and watch everyone else, whereas your lavender really has a lot to say. But I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's your energy. I think it's just simply that the plants need a copacetic environment to live in. And because they're not native or it's harder for them to survive there, it's not because of your energy or lack of effort. It's simply because, how can a flower grow if the environment's not right type of thing. So you can either try and move some of your lavender or little bits and pieces of your rue inside in like little pots and keep them in there. And I'm sure they would be happy and thrive. But I would try to get more plants or get some plants that are native to where you're at that really just like to be abused, like this thing back here. I think I watered Roberto once last week, and that was the first time in like 2 months. And I'm afraid to put him in a new pot because I think he just likes being choked out a little bit, you know? Exactly, Emma. Uh, it's rue. My mother-in-law has outdoor. It's super fragrant. Okay. I don't know. Maybe your mother-in-law just has more time, but I don't think it's your energy, rue. I think it's the environment. Yeah, because some plants don't like living where I live. I don't even like living here. That's so funny. I've never been to California, um, but Amanda's from California and she talks about it. I gave her some sunflower seeds to try and grow, but I know it's hot there. So, does that help answer your question, Batty? I don't think it's your energy. I think it's simply that you're trying to grow some plants that find it hard to live where you're living. And maybe your mother-in-law really just has something fancy going on to get her rue to live. Get cat the BDSM plant community. Stop. Uh, their safe word is water. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Yes, thank you. She's a stay at home and I'm a nurse, so I literally neglect my plants. Sorry, lavender. No, the lavender's really kind of in it to win it, but that's just because they are sassy. So your lavender, do you have mulch where you are, or is it just rock beds, Batty? I'm from California, and the only plants I can keep alive are succulents. Also, Batty, thank you for your service as a nurse. I always say that nurses should be saluted or seen with the same, if not comparable, respect to people in our military service because you guys literally do fight to keep people alive just in different ways. Yes, mulch. Okay, because the lavender's talking about the mulch, and the mulch does help. Hi, Penny. However, I don't think it's enough for the rue because the rue likes to have like aerated soil a little bit. But they also like it to be colder as well, not quite as hot. So the lavender you might be able to get away with. The rue, though, is losing the will to live. So maybe bring some rue inside if you really want to keep it a little bit better. Other than that, you are doing fine. It's not you, it's the environment. So, all right, Batty. Do you have any last questions before I move on to our last reading for today? Not losing the will to live. Thanks. I'll move my rue. You're welcome. Cause I know I'm not very good at plants either. I'm better at animals. There was for a while I wanted to do like some green witch things on Patreon where I taught people things about green witchery, but which is basically just being a plant person, honestly, with like a little salt bay of spirituality in it. And my idea of being a plant like a green witch is very different than what I think other people would be. And I'm also just not good at it in the same way that I feel like people do. So, I've just learned that for me, I'm more of like an animal husbandry kind of person. So, but that's just personal to me. Okay, let's see. I know I said it already, but just in case you didn't hear, thank you for your service as being a nurse, Batty. And anyone else who's a nurse that's in this chat, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wingnut Drever, hello. I like your name. That's very interesting. Okay, our last reading of the day is JB, and Jay got a plant reading. Sorry, my brain just short circuited for a second. Jay, can you tell me where you are in the chat? Let me know who you are. Dup. Okay, I thought it was you, JNS9, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so Jay says, if we get an appointment for pet reading, can we reach out to multiple pets that have passed away and want to talk? Penny, if you want to get a pet psychic reading, that is actually for living animals. Michael got a pet psychic reading for his past animal, which should have been a psychic medium reading, but I'm not going to tell someone that when they didn't understand in the first place, but I'm telling you now. I won't just like not give you a reading if you make it different or if someone else comes through, you know what I'm saying? That's just not me. But to answer your question, if you want to talk to animals that are alive for a pet psychic reading, there is no limit on how many animals you can talk to. There's just a limit on time. So my pet psychic readings are about 20 minutes, give or take. I try to leave a little bit of space in between readings to let reading times go over if it's necessary or needed. But if you want to talk to animals that are past, that would be a psychic medium reading. And there's also no limit on the amount of animals that we can talk to in your medium reading as well. However many souls want to step forward or that we could talk to. Psychic medium readings are longer. They're a half an hour, give or take, given that little cushion of time in between readings. I hope that answers your question. Also, Michael, I'm not upset. Don't think about what I said as like calling you out in a bad way. I just wanted to clarify. That's all. Joe says, hello from Canada. Hello back. Penny says, oh, okay, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I had a whole bunch of pet psychic readings, and a lot of people were emailing me about, like, is it only one pet per person? And then there were some people that were just kind and didn't ask and just assumed it was one pet. And then I would see like two more sitting in the background. I was like, you want to talk to them too? So I get it. There's no limit. Psychic pet psychics are just for living because it's psychic things in the physical world, and then psychic medium or mediumship is souls that are passed in heaven. So okay, so Jay, back to you. Jay says, hi Liv, I posted a piss. I'm really bad at talking. I posted a pic in the Discord plant channel. I just took this pic today and I love this plant in the front yard. I talk to her all the time and I imagine the fairies love buzzing around her. I'd love to hear her personality. Heck yeah. Well, let me jump in the Discord server really quick. If you guys are new and don't know anything about the Discord server, I wanted to create something called Metapsychics Pen Pals, where if you became a patron or whatever, a monthly fee, now we have Patreon, but where I would like match people up with email addresses and you guys could be like spiritual pen pals. But now we have the Discord server because, we live in the 21st century and I'm just an old person. But if you become a patron, then you get, what is it? You get the Metapsychics Discord server so you can talk to people like Jay and share things about your plants and so many other things. So if that's something you're interested in, you can become a Metapsychics patron with the link up above. There's like a little tab that says Patreon, but $3 is a month is the first tier, and that's a sidekick, and that gives you Discord server privileges. And then anything above that also has Discord server privileges, but there's like different chat rooms you can go into. But even just the sidekick tier, I think is fine when it comes to Discord access, honestly. So Jay, I'm looking at your picture. Me, me canned petunias are gorgeous this morning. Mexican. Stop. Oh, they're so cute. I like that your petunias. I honestly thought, like, egotistically with my own brain, Jay, that your flowers were gonna be like feminine and girly, but you got some boy petunias, my guy. Do you feel the same way? Because I know you're very intuitive as well. Do you feel like they're kind of like some sassy guys? I can't type, you can't speak. It's all good. Sometimes I say things and it really comes out like I have an imaginary accent all the time. It's weird. So I'll ask again, Jay, do you think that your petunias are some dudes? Because they feel duty to me. Duty. No way, really? Maybe I associate female with flowers. That's what I'm saying. I thought that they were gonna be female too, and then as soon as I pulled up the picture, I was like, no, them are some angry dude guy flowers. They're gonna throw a frat party on your sidewalk. Just a gaggle of dudes. But I can't see them being macho. I understand. I mean, don't let me take away from the fact of how you perceive the flowers. I'm just saying I perceive them masculine. If you perceive them feminine, that's completely fine. The bushes around them, I feel like are a little bit more feminine. Does that bush on the right-hand side have some really cute little purple flowers coming up? Am I seeing that correctly? Because the bushes on either side give me very feminine feminine vibes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the bushes give me very feminine vibes. The petunias though, they're gonna start a frat party. You're gonna come out and there's gonna be like a keg on your on your your sidewalk. Um, do you talk to them? Do you just like sit on the floor sometimes and talk to them, Jay? Are the flowers giving New York dude vibes and that's why you got an accent all of a sudden? No, I think that's just my ADHD brain, honestly. All the time. Yeah, because they show me that you sit down and you give them, like, very kind words of encouragement, and it's almost like a really cute grandma comes up to her grandson that wants to be, like, a professional skater, and he's drinking, like, Liquid Death. Oh my god, I would love to be a sponsor for Liquid Death. I, like, came up with this little, like, um, what is it? like, promotional thing right off the top of my head, and I wish I had written it down because it was so good, but Liquid Death will never give anyone sponsorships besides, like, the frat boys, kind of, the skater people. Anyways, Jay, they tell me that you sit down and you tell them such kind words to them, but it's almost as if you like a grandma's giving really kind words of encouragement to their grandson that's, like, about to go be at a skate park with their hat on backwards, drinking Liquid Death. I do compliment their flower buds. That's so cute. I love it. Emma, oh, lol party at Jay's frat flowers. Who's bringing the miracle grow? um, that's so funny. I really like them. I do think that there are cute little fairies too. The fairies like the rocks that are at the bottom that you have specifically. Charmaine time. So I have a new fishy friend and his name is Flounder. And every time I go to feed him, I swear him and I are communicating and he gets super excited to see me. We be vibing. Charmaine, I do not think that you are crazy. I think that's entirely true and fabulous. Jay, I feed them rice water. That's so cute. The fairies? You feed the fairies rice water? If you guys are new tier 2 and you haven't heard about me talk about fairies before, as a psychic medium, the way that I perceive fairies is more just like nature spirits, if you will. They specifically are the energy that exists between the particles of physicality, if you want to be more scientific about it. The plants, I don't know what fairies eat. Okay, because I thought you were talking about the plants, and then my ego brain was like, no, she has to be giving the fairies the rice water. Because the plants do like the rice water as well, but the fairies talk about how they like the rocks that you have around the plants, specifically those big black rocks. Are those like charcoal or something? Do they seep minerals into the ground? Do you know? Are they more porous? I also don't know what fairies will eat, but as a child, let me tell you, I knew what they ate. Yes, lava rock or something. Okay, good, because the fairies are telling me that nutrients seep into the plants, and they really like that you have those rocks there. So that's so cute. I love it. Cool, cool, cool. Do you have any other questions for me, Jay, before we conclude today's live stream? Thank you all so much for being here. This is not at all what I expected, but very much, I think, what I needed. So thank you. Sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate you. Talk to my plant's pet, past son, and past husband just like they are people and still here. You do? I hope you do. Mallory says, "Hi, Liv. I just had a great email reading with you." Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Linda says, "This has been fun." I appreciate that too. It has been fun. Um, I really, really, really appreciate all of you being here, supporting everything, my existence, my sanity. um, what else? I don't know. It's been fun. I will try to do another live stream and I will try to also, what is it, like, schedule it. I thought that was kind of cool. I've never scheduled a live stream before, so it was nice that I could give everyone a heads up a couple days before to see what was going on. And when I listen to this back, hopefully the audio sounds good. You all said that it was good so far today, so maybe I'll just keep it so that I have everything hooked up to my interface so that we have the crispy audio that we've been here or been using so far. Love how everyone's so chill. Hope you all have a great day. Also, Emma, thank you for being a little bit of a hype man. I appreciate that. um, I'm sad I missed out on purchasing a reading. Sold out fast. Congrats. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll do more live streams where you'll have the shorter, less expensive readings. But if you do want I'm just like blanking. My son was sleeping with us last night, so I didn't get, like, the best sleep last night. He's been going through a little bit of a sleep regression with his teeth coming in. But if you want a, full reading, thank you, go to the little link that is posted in the chat. That's just my main website, and you can have a full private reading if you so choose. If not, that's okay too. Next time, we'll have more readings maybe, and always the opportunity for open conversation about all things metaphysical, spiritual, and in between. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Peace out. Bye. Let's see, now I just have to end this thing. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Toodles. Okay. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. All right. Bye.